Okay. All right, thanks for joining us. We have here Cameron Ashby, one of the founders of Unleash Independence. And then we also have Pat Petrini. He's actually someone I met a few years ago at a direct sales meeting, and he's been a pretty good mentor. And he's done a lot over the years. He quickly rose through the ranks to breaking numerous sales records and eventually became a top producer in the company out of tens of thousands of other reps. In 2011, Pat was selected as one of the top mentors in direct selling industry by businessforhome.org. And I was also reading on your website, Pat, that you got kicked out of 5th grade selling hundreds of homemade stress balls. You want to tell us about that?
Well, it was just the school project. We were supposed to make something to sell in this program, and I've always been money motivated since I was as long as I can remember, and so I got real fired up about making something that apparently kids liked, and I sold a lot of them and got in a lot of trouble for it.
That's awesome.
Well, a lot of trouble in 5th grade standards, not.
What were they made out of?
It was just balloons filled with flour, but kids loved them. The problem is that they started popping all over the school. There were flour piles all over the school.
Oh, gosh. That's awesome. Well, one of the main reasons we brought you on is because your experience with passive income. I think a lot of people don't know exactly what that is and how it can benefit you from the traditional old ways of thinking. Like, we've heard different things from the rat race. Everyone's stuck in the rat race, but kind of where the industrial age seems to be kind of fading away, and the old ways of making money with mutual funds, 401ks. Do you want to talk a little bit about that? What your perspective is on that?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I was really fortunate to have been introduced to a mentor that sort of shared a lot of this information with me when I was about 22, and through a mutual friend was introduced to somebody that kind of brought me into the direct selling industry, but more importantly, just really taught me a lot about money and a lot about investing, and really opened my eyes to the possibilities of passive income. And I think a lot of people just sort of write it off as unrealistic. A lot of people, they look at musicians, they look at people in different areas of life, I guess, that have this really huge passive income. I think a lot of people kind of see it like hitting the lottery, like, oh, sure, that's really nice, but what are the odds? Not very many people get to experience significant passive residual income and get to experience the lifestyle that offers. And it's unfortunate because it really is within reach of a lot of people. And the thing that I think is really important to note about it is, and by the way, I guess just to clarify for anybody, it's not passive income. If you're a musical artist, you record a CD, you do all the work up front of recording that CD, and you get paid ongoing indefinitely for as long as people continue to buy that album. If you're an insurance salesman, you sell a policy today, but you get paid for as long as people keep on renewing that policy. So you're building this income that keeps on coming in for an effort that you did once. That's basically what we're talking about with passive income. One of the incredible things about passive income is you don't need a lot of it to have a great lifestyle. I mean, there's a lot of people that I think that the average income in America's individual income is somewhere around $35,000, and the average household income is around $50,000. Well, if you're earning $30,000 a year passively, I'll take that. I would take $30,000 a year passively over $100,000 a year that's not passive, because the lifestyle is so different when you can do whatever you want to do today because you know that there's a check coming in tomorrow, regardless. And it just changes the way you look at your time. It changes the decisions you make during the day. So you don't need a lot of passive income to live a very different lifestyle than most people will ever get to live.
And so, Pat, if I can jump in real quick, the opposite of passive income would be the daily 9 to 5 shift. You just go in and you get paid for those hours. Is that what we're talking about with the? Okay.
Absolutely. Most people are getting paid by the hour or getting paid by the year, and most people that are getting paid by the hour. And I'm not like trying to be condescending towards anybody that's in that position. We all got to pay the bills. So it's not. I'm not trying to like put that down or anything. But the downside of being in that position is that somebody else is telling you how much you're going to get paid per hour. Somebody else is telling you how much you're going to get paid per year, and you have pretty limited control over changing that. So you pretty much, if you really want to, be setting your own income, you pretty much have to be in some sort of entrepreneurial position where you're getting paid based on commissions, or you're running your own business or something like that.
One second. When Brock and I were talking about setting up this interview with you, Pat, initially we thought it'd be beneficial because people get a hold of their finances, and if they become more financially secure, then that can help with independence. But you kind of shed something on, some light on something that I didn't really think about. But if you had, say, that $30,000 coming in, and that was passive income, that really allows you to be more free. I mean, you're not going in and necessarily punching a card. You can do other things to maybe increase that as well. Is that correct?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, the cool thing is once you figure out how to make 30,000 in passive income, then the effort it takes to get to 60 is a lot less, because it's really getting like from 0 to 10 that takes a lot of work. Often to even figure out how to make a little bit it can be a big learning curve. But once you figure out how to do it, whatever your vehicle is, whether it's some sort of direct sales company, a network marketing company, whether you get into insurance, whatever your vehicle is, once you figure out the learning curve, you get your income to 30,000 a year. It's going to be a lot easier to jump it to 60, and then even easier to jump it to 100 because you already figured out how to do it. Now it's just doing it a lot more and getting more efficient at it.
That's awesome. So, like, where did you first learn about passive income? When was your first, I guess, taste of it?
Well, I was when out of high school, I was recruited into a direct sales company that was not passive. It was a company called Cutco Cutlery. They sold kitchen products, and it was almost door to door. It wasn't exactly door to door, but it was kind of like that. And it was an incredible company, incredible product, some of the best sales training that I've ever seen. I have a warm spot in my heart for that company because I got so much out of it. But it wasn't passive. It was you made a sale, you got paid for that sale, and then you moved on to make another sale. And but it was incredible training and great money, for a high school age kid, college age kid. But then I was introduced to somebody that mentored me and brought me into the network marketing industry. And he had made many millions in the industry, and met him through a mutual friend. And he brought me into network marketing and sort of taught me the ins and outs of network marketing and taught me how to build it. And I basically just really latched onto him as a mentor and tried to just soak up everything that I could from him and mimic him. And that's how I kind of got started in network marketing, and that's how I got started in building passive income. And like just for example, with that, it took me 6 months of very significant effort to even be making $1,000 a month in passive income, and that was putting in quite a bit of time. Week in, week out. My first month, I made like $13. And that's kind of how it goes. Is you're turning the crank and you're trying to get things moving, but then things can kind of start to snowball, and that's what happened. So that was my first experience of really having passive income. And after a couple of years, I had gotten to a nice 6-figure income with that company, and I mean, I'm not trying to like say this to brag, but trying to say this to like illustrate what's out there for people. Is I got to experience a lifestyle that most people just never even will. At the age of, I think I was maybe 27 or yeah, right around there. I took a year off and just traveled all over the place. I literally didn't have a home. I moved out of my place in Arizona, put all my stuff in storage, and just lived out of a backpack for a year. And had my cell phone and my laptop with me, and so I was working. I was doing calls and doing meetings and stuff like that, but I was working from wherever I was and traveling around the U.S., traveling around South America. And the reason I could do that is because I had passive income that was coming in, and I had a mobile office, my cell phone and my laptop.
Well, I got to ask you, Pat, what was your favorite trip? Because I saw some of your videos a few years ago when you were in South America. What's your favorite area in South America?
Probably, of what I've been to so far, is probably Argentina. I took about a month in Argentina and just stayed there and just met a lot of cool people down there. But Emily and I are heading back down there in a few months, and planning on taking a few months off to go down there and see a lot more of South America. So I really love South America of all the places that I've been thus far.
Oh yeah, you got married recently. How long ago did you get married?
I just a couple months ago, at the very end of August.
Awesome. Congrats. So.
Thank you.
Hey Pat, I have a question for you. And you know, when I hear about passive income, it's almost, I guess, kind of walled off or put it in a box. Mostly what I hear about is, you know, buying a property and renting it out or something like that. But you know, there are a lot of people that aren't in a position to do something that extreme, or you know, with the housing bubble, maybe they're hurting financially. Do you have any little tips or any resources that people can go and look up for themselves to maybe start out with something smaller, but you know, just to begin to understand passive income and to build it?
Absolutely. So one place, and it's the place that I got started, and that is network marketing. Is to find a great network marketing company and to find a great team within that network marketing company, and to find a great successful mentor within that team that you can work closely with. It's not just a matter of just jumping into some network marketing company because some product got you excited, but it's really, you've got to really do some research and find a really good team and find a really good mentor that is making money, that is going to take the time and like link arms with you and actually really show you how to do this. But that is an incredible way to get started for very, very little cost. That's one of the great things about network marketing is most of the companies out there, you can really get started at for very minimal cost. And people will take as much time, you know, you can take as much time as it takes for you to get through the learning curve. With a network marketing company, and you're not shelling out tons and tons of money. Another just sort of resource that I'd recommend to people, I mean, of course, there's so many different businesses that people can start and things that people can do, but there's a great book that is one of my top favorite books. It's called The 4-Hour Workweek by Timothy Ferriss, and it's an awesome book to get the gears cranking in your head. And it really talks a lot about passive income and this kind of lifestyle. And there's so many ideas in that book and resources that sort of get you thinking about what you might be able to do, and something that, trying to figure out ideas of things that you can start part-time, starting some sort of website to sell a product or inventing a product, or and then all sorts of resources. Well, where do you go to find a manufacturer? Where do you go to? How do you do all this stuff that goes into, like, you've got an idea, but how do you actually put it to work? And there's a lot of great resources and ideas in that book to really get you thinking about different things that you could do. And start with the resources, the money that you have available. Start part-time, and get it going. If it takes 6 months, it takes a year, if it takes 5 years, it's still worth it to experience a lifestyle that most people will never have in their whole life.
Right.
Awesome.
Great. Thank you.
So if you had to define an asset and a liability, I think we hear all the time that a home is always an asset. And to me, just growing up, that didn't make sense to me because I thought it was the bank's asset. I don't know how it can be both. So could you kind of describe what an asset and a liability is?
UnleashIndependence.com